Okay, we're live.
We're live. We're making fetch happen.
We are making fetch happen for the next generation today.
We are. So we have important subject matter to talk about tonight.
Yes.
Should we open with that? Like, what would you like to do? We always go like right off the cuff. Like
I think we should open with it only because
it's super important.
Halfway because I'm going to start drinking wine and I don't want to be silly when we're talking about something serious. I am also, oh my God, I'm wearing a shirt, everyone.
Right now, you're in like a meeting with no clothes on. Admit it.
Okay. Anywho, I want to I want to do it justice. I feel like if we get silly first.
Listen, I'm going to take my glasses off this fucking glare. Let's age me like 25 years with bags under my eyes. All right. Anyway. So,
it maybe looks like I brushed my hair, but I absolutely did not. So no worries.
We both have curly hair, I get. Okay. So we're gonna get serious now.
Okay.
I know this girl, Joanna from Elmwood Park. She used to buy like body products for me. She'd come to the Boulevard and pick them up. When I had a Facebook years ago, we were friends on Facebook. Now we're friends on Instagram. We don't hang out or anything, but we know each other and we're super cool. And I really, really enjoy her. I love her quotes. I love watching pictures of her with her kid. She's a great mom and she's a teacher and she's just an overall good person. So I appreciate that in her. So I'm on Instagram the other day and this pops up in my feed. Joanna posts a picture of her daughter who is absolutely fucking gorgeous. Absolutely.
Ooh, can you hold that up in case people didn't see? You can kind of if you put it in front of the camera, I bet people could see the post, like anybody who hasn't seen the picture.
All right. So that's the picture. Yeah. This is her daughter. She is absolutely gorgeous. She is not just gorgeous. She's intelligent. She's articulate. And she reminds me actually a lot of my son, Xander. She's 11 and she has a lot of the qualities that Xander has. Like she knows what's going on in the world and she doesn't want it to be this way.
Yeah.
So she's wearing a shirt, if you couldn't see it, that says, "I can't breathe." And some piece of shit named John Paul Levine, in case you want to find him on Facebook or any social media, his name is John Paul Levine. He's originally from Lodi, New Jersey, after some research. Now he's moved to California. According to his Facebook, he's single. I can't fucking imagine why. He wrote underneath the picture of Gwen, okay, Joanna's daughter.
Who's 11.
Then get an inhaler. Maybe you got the virus looting. I feel stabby. When I read that, I literally, as like my mom kicked in. I have 3 kids. I'm sure as a mom, when you saw it, you were like, are you fucking serious?
Yeah.
I want to ruin his life. I hope his life does get ruined. He's retired.
Oh, I'm sure it will.
Well, he can't get fired.
I saw that on Facebook and I didn't know that you knew her. So it's been going around Facebook for sure.
She's such a sweetheart. She used to buy, I have the candle and body product company. She would come in and pick up products for me. She's a sweetheart. And we message back and forth, whatever. We're not hangout friends, but we're acquaintances. And I enjoy her very much. She's a great mom. I really like her. I've met Gwen. I feel sick.
Yeah.
I feel sick. So I contacted Joanna and I asked her if it was okay if we discuss this tonight because I'm not letting this go. Okay, let me put it to you like this. If this was a stranger, I would have contacted the stranger because I wanted to talk about this. Of course, with permission because it's an 11-year-old girl.
Right.
Gwen wrote me a letter. Okay. You know that I don't cry. Somebody's got to die or I have to see a bug or something. I'm not a crier. All right. I had tears.
The opposite of me who cries about literally everything.
Yeah. Well, I am a fucked up individual. I don't cry much, but this made me tear up very badly. So this is what Gwen wrote to me. She said, "My name is Gwen. I'm an 11-year-old from Elmwood Park, New Jersey. I was born to a dad that is Black and a mom who is Italian. In my 11 years, I have had a hard time with being too white for Black acceptance and too Black for white acceptance. My mom has always taught me that I am the best of both worlds, and skin color and sexual orientation means nothing. What matters is your heart and how you shine and make a difference in the world." I'm sorry. "I was trying to speak my voice and make a difference, and I went to a peaceful protest. When my mom posted my picture online, I got attacked by a white man calling me a looter and saying other nasty things." And this is really what gets me. "I did not get mad, but instead sad for him. How sad to be so angry and mad at someone just because of their skin color. I'm hoping that love will overcome all this hate and that adults can see that we're all the same. We're all human. Love, Gwen Giles." Now, again, the Ice Queen. I read that. I've read that 20 times, and I still. How the fuck can that man live with himself commenting something like that to a child that she's gonna see?
Yeah, I mean that's the thing that gets me is hearing that letter. And I don't know. Who cares if this is wrong if I say this? If an adult wrote that letter, I would feel sad, but I wouldn't feel the same way because an adult has lived life and seen things. She's 11 years old. She should be riding her bike and skipping rope and doing fun things, not having to worry about grown men attacking her for trying to stand up for
what's right.
Yeah,
it's to fight for what's right.
It's
and
absurd.
The fact that she even included like sexual orientation in it, like she sees the world as a beautiful place with different types of people in it, like you and I do.
Right. And that's what makes it beautiful, because it would not be beautiful if we were all the same.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Apparently, I'm sorry, let's repeat his name. Single retired John Paul Levine doesn't feel the same fucking way.
Well,
if I had Facebook, thank God I don't have Facebook, I would flood this motherfucker's inbox. I'd be blocked. I'd be like thrown off of Facebook.
I am sure that that's what his life is right now, and good. And you know what though? Like when you read that part about her saying that she was sad for him, I can totally relate to that because that's what happens to me when I think about these people. Mostly because, okay, I grew up in a very, very white area. I was completely sheltered from what even racism was. Like you learned about it at school, but I never really, I guess,
understand
we needed to. We had a few Black families, like 3 maybe in our entire like 4 or 5 like town area. So I mean that's not a high population.
Yeah, no.
I feel like us as kids, we were pretty good to them, but I also didn't. It was like I was blind to it because I didn't feel that way. So I wasn't even looking.
Right. You weren't looking at it that way because you're looking through a child's eyes.
Right. And so, you know, now looking, you know, what happened when I left that place was I went straight from there to Massachusetts, back to Massachusetts, I should say. And so it wasn't like I had no idea, but the bulk of my time growing up was in a white area. We came from an inner city and moved to the woods, basically. So I had a very short period of time at the beginning of my life where I had friends of all, you know, people of color all over the place, but it was replaced by that experience growing up.
Whitewashed. Right.
Exactly. And it wasn't my fault. And I understood that. But then it was like a shell shock when I left there. And I remember how I felt when I had to face that and be like, damn, you have like some racist shit inside you that you never asked for, but it's there.
But girl, the fact that you can sit there and say that is so important. And like, people need to hear that. It is okay that you did not grow up around diversity. I was blessed enough to grow up around diversity. I really was. Like, I mean, the majority of my friends were not white. They kind of still aren't when you think about it.
Mhm.
So I grew up around diversity, so I understand on a different level, I think. But not the level that I'm not black. I don't know what it's like to be black.
Right.
But I do understand, like, like I grew up around diversity. And it's okay to grow up in a whitewashed area and not get it. And then finally you're like, get it
Yeah.
now.
Because
You
you're
know,
listening and trying
you're
to
paying
understand that
attention.
it's the truth.
Yeah, and you're bettering yourself. It's
Mhm.
about, listen, last week when we recorded, I was still pretty angry. 2.5 hours of angry. I'm still angry. But I really am trying to listen. Bobby, if you're watching, I listened to what your comment was to Vanessa. We do have to try to find a different way of getting through to people that is not yelling and shouting. And I'm doing my best to not do that.
Yeah. Well, we talked about it. We talked about it like a few weeks ago that like it's trickery. It's what I do as a therapist when somebody comes in
Right.
and doesn't think they have problems, but they're there for a reason. I'm like, all right, cool. Like
Right.
I'm just going to lead you down a different path. We're going to get to the same place, but I see that you're blocking this path, and
Right.
that's fine. You're not ready, but we're going to go this way. We're going to go in the side door.
I'm taking your lead, girl. I'm taking your lead.
Yeah, and part of it is this, like being able to share these stories, but then also acknowledge our experience as okay, and me being able to say, like, I get it.
It's okay that you don't know, and you're learning.
Right, and you don't know what you don't know. It's not their fault that they live in a white area. It's not.
It's not an attack. It's not an attack. I'm sorry. I'm trying to find my cigarettes. Oh, here they are. Oh, we're just so nice. You put them next to me. It's not an attack on anybody. It is really just us like saying to you, educate yourself. Please just do better. Do better.
And just really be honest. Like that was the only reason why I changed was because I was honest, and it hurt. Like nobody wants to look at themselves and be like, "Wow, that is a real shitty part of you, dude. Like that is awful." But I had to do it.
We talked about this before.
And been a racist asshole for the rest of my life.
We've discussed this before, that when it hit me like a ton of bricks, that like in certain situations, I was the toxic asshole.
Yeah.
And it hit me like a fucking ton of bricks. And I was like, that is not anyone else's fault. That is my fault. I'm the toxic asshole.
Yeah. And that sucks.
And that sucks. And admitting that sucks. It's never fucking cool to admit, like, oh yeah, you were the jerk off in that situation.
Right.
And I've apologized to people for it. And I'm like, I don't want your forgiveness. I don't want to hang out with you. Like, I was the dick. Just go on with your life. I just want to say I'm sorry.
Right. And this is how it changes is people going on there. We've become a very ego-driven society. So everything is go on, telling everybody how wonderful you are, go on making sure that everybody knows that you're strong in yourself and blah, 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 blah. And it feels like a betrayal of yourself to say, hey man, there's an ugly part of me that I need to change. But it's not a betrayal. It's a beautiful thing.
It's a beautiful thing to admit your fault. Listen. Okay, so we're going to talk about
better. Oh no.
All right, so we're going to talk about really quick. There's this guy that I started following on Instagram who I absolutely fell in love with. His name is The Witty Idiot, okay? And he has he like posts the funniest things about relationships, how he fucks them up, what kind of girls he's dating, and how they fuck him up.
I'm going to have to go ahead and follow that.
Follow him now. Hysterical. He actually dedicated his Instagram right now to the Black Lives Matter movement. And he's like, when this is over, we will go back to our original content, which is hilarious.
Yeah.
Hilarious. But this is what matters right now. We can be funny later, but this is what matters right now. And I messaged him before I brought him up, by the way. Okay. If he's watching, hey, I appreciate you. I respect you so much because you did something. You probably lost followers, but you probably also gained a bunch because you're doing the right thing. You're also adorable, by the way.
Oh, hey.
Hey. But like seriously, like he gets it. Like, you know, relationship wise, he like half of them are self like deprecation like posts that are hilarious.
Like, hey, guess what dumb thing I did today?
Right.
Yeah.
And
Which is, again, like, it's a beautiful thing to do. So what, like, one of the things that I've noticed throughout this whole thing, I'm sorry, things are flying in my eye or something, I don't know what's going on, is that there are some people that I know from, you know, those smaller areas that are trying, you know, and it's taking them some time to get there, but their posts have gone from all lives matter to, okay, the country's being divided by this. People are people.
Do better.
Like, we're getting there in levels, and it's like fine. And I keep telling them, you don't have to jump on and put up a black square if you're not there yet. It's totally fine. I want you there, but if you're not there yet, do your process.
You got to get there. You got to go through the process. Like we're right, but you're going there, so right the fuck on.
Yeah,
please stay on that path, and please be on the right side of history because we are in a situation right now. We really are.
Yeah. And it's about time that we talk about it. And like, I think that, you know, the mission gets a little bit lost in, you know, people's opinions of the George Floyd incident. And there's a lot of other ones that we could be talking about. That's the one. Exactly. But for some reason, that's the one that people are like harping on. So I just kind of tell them, I'm like, you know what, like, let's talk about the fact that we shouldn't have this discussion because 60 years ago, we were supposed to have taken care of this. So that's the discussion we need to have. The discussion we need to have right now. Well, because segregation was still
I get that. Well, what I feel like is that
like we should have been having this discussion. We should have all along been like, how do we still not have this right? We shouldn't have to wait for big major cases to be put on media to be talking about this.
Well, I would like to say that this started with Trayvon Martin. Okay, so the Black Lives Matter the movement started with two women who posted on Facebook something that went viral. Okay, and this is when this should have started. That was a very long time ago.
Well, it should have started in the 60s when it was supposed to.
But I'm talking for our generation.
Well, we shouldn't have had it. Like, this is where I'm getting at. Like, I feel like this shouldn't have even been here for us. So the people who are harping on it that's where our focus should be. Like, how did we grow up like this? When
I don't know.
Like, how did this happen?
Like I said, I was very blessed because I was in a very diverse area where we recognize differences, but we all like hung out. Like there was no, I don't know how to explain it. Like there was no race issues between our group of friends. So like I grew up a little bit differently than a lot of people in America. I'm blessed for that. I am blessed for that. But in a way, it made me ignorant to what goes on in other places. It really did. So I had to learn. I had to relearn. We've discussed this. I've made mistakes. I initially raised my children colorblind. Like, don't look at somebody's color. Don't look at somebody's sexual orientation. Look at them as people. That's the wrong thing. We recognize that you're different and you have to deal with a different set of problems than we do.
But it also makes us curious as humans too. Like today I was watching a live of somebody local in the area. She's also a therapist, which is kind of cool. And she was just kind of sharing her like her background. And it was like, yeah, that's what I don't want to not think about you being Black because of the color of your skin. I want to know this kind of stuff. And I wouldn't ask you if I was colorblind. You know what I mean? Like I would probably go on assuming that our lives were similar, and our lives were very not similar.
Well,
I get to learn through her.
Like I said, very young in life, I learned that my hair was different than my friend's hair. That things are different when you're a different race. And it doesn't just go to Black people, it goes to all different ethnicities.
Right.
You are different, and it's what makes you special.
Right.
But it's different.
Right.
And I thought, like, it didn't matter to me, so I didn't care.
Right.
But
Right.
now I recognize that.
Right.
When people say to me, like I had a friend, I'm not going to say her name, but she's like, people want to touch my hair. I'm like, what? And I was like, what do you mean they want to touch your hair? And they're like, people are fucking crazy. They want to touch my hair because it's different than theirs. And I'm like, you fucking people want to touch my hair. I've been accused of having a wig a lot of times. I have. You've been with me when this has happened.
Are you wearing a wig right now, Paige? Be honest.
Huh?
Are you wearing one right now? Be honest.
Yes, I'm wearing my Morticia wig right now.
Yeah. I wish I could say I was wearing one so that I could say this is not my real hair, but
no, this is unfortunately my real fucking hair. That takes me 45 minutes to not make it look like a goddamn guinea mess, okay? Yes, I can say that. I'm Italian, okay? I'm Sicilian. I have a fucking crazy head of hair. But like people have done it to me, but they think like it's a joke, it's a wig. People do it to like people of color because they are curious, but that is so fucking rude. Yeah. That is so fucking rude.
Well, okay, so let's
even think that's okay.
You know why I'm gonna say why people think it's okay? Because of that blindness to that person's experience. If listen, people have come up and touched my hair because it's curly. I don't have the same reaction because I don't have the same experience.
Well, because you're not black.
Are literally just like, hey, I just want to touch your hair. I haven't had discrimination toward me to be like, like stop pointing out how different I am.
It's different. Like I said, people have pulled my hair and gone, you're wearing a wig. I'm like, no, I'm not. When someone does it to a person of color, that is beyond fucked up. Like you don't do that.
Again, it's not taking into account their whole life experience, right?
You don't do that.
It's like, and I think that that's what's happening a lot right now is everybody, complaining about the media hype and all this kind of stuff. It's like, but you're trying to discount people's actual life experiences, which is why it's great to take the stories that we know personally
and share them
because that gives it a real voice to the people, at least in our network. And if everybody's doing it, then everybody's network is getting a bit of the reality, and the reality is what's going to combat this media, like anti-media hype that we're on right now. Because yes, the media lies to us. The media lies to us. Anti-propaganda. Everything is wrong. That the media is lying to us about everything. But the way to combat that is to talk human to human so that we can believe humans over the media.
Well, here's the thing. We are now the media.
Exactly.
I am not anti-reporters because if we take away free press, then we are going to, I'm telling you now, like we cannot kick press out of protests that are trying to film what's going on. And that's what's happening. And I'm against that.
Yeah.
I'm against propaganda. Okay. I think both sides are guilty of it. I'm against Fox News. They are only showing people that are looting. They're not showing people that are peacefully protesting and taking a knee and like really fighting for this cause. That's not what they're showing.
Right.
They're showing people burning buildings down, which is such a small percentage of what's going on.
Right. But this is like, I feel like this is the age-old discussion that we have. It started in my life when they started banning rap music, because at that time in my life, like rap music was the
I remember. Yeah.
Right. And so like they started doing that. And like that was kind of the introduction to, okay, yes, some of the stuff in the rap music, when I listen to it now, I'm like, okay, maybe as like a white kid,
it was gang related.
I was getting like a pretty bad, like I wasn't getting the real deal story. However, that's on my parents to teach me, the same way it is with violent video games. Like we need to be taught human to human that music isn't the cause, that media isn't the cause.
Video games is not, like, listen, Xander, a TV show. So Xander, my son Xander is 10 years old. Okay.
Going on 55.
Xander is extremely mature. He's been watching The Walking Dead since he was 7 years old, and I have gotten a lot of criticism because of that. He can sleep at night. He does not think that zombies are going to eat him. Okay. He watches it. He understands what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not bragging, but he is extremely smart. So he understands what's going on in the show. He's met Jeffrey Dean Morgan, by the way, he's met Negan, which is the coolest fucking thing ever. And he was like, I'm so mad that you killed Glenn. He told him that because Xander has balls. He like literally looked at somebody 6'4" and was like, I'm so mad that you killed Glenn.
Not cool, bro.
It was my job. It was my job and his dad's job as a parent to explain to him, this is not real. The zombies are fake. They're not going to eat anybody. If you enjoy watching this, we'll let you. However, if it starts scaring you where you can't sleep, you are no longer allowed to watch this.
Yeah.
And, like it's your job as a parent to monitor what's going on in your kid's life.
Right. And as an adult, it is your job to understand that what you see on the television may not be true. So,
and you need to pick
with real people.
You need to use your fucking brain and pick.
Bring it up.
I can't even tell. So I do want to talk about one more thing, if you don't mind.
Let's do it.
All right.
Let's start hitting the line. Let's do it.
It's Pride Month. We all know I'm bisexual. I do feel that when you're bi, you are in a weird category in the gay and lesbian community. You are. It's not a surprise. It's not a shock. I'm not the first person who said this, but whatever. Anyway, more and more people are coming out and saying, this wasn't curiosity. This is who I am and whatever. I've raised my children to accept everybody. All of my children know that I'm bisexual, including my 10-year-old. Somebody wrote me an email today about this because I'm about to do a photo shoot for Bi Pride with a good friend of mine. Probably going to end up my wife, by the way, because I'm done with men. But my friend Tara and I are going to do a Pride photo shoot. Awesome. And I got an email saying that somebody's 11-year-old wrote a paper for school saying that she wanted to accept people of all sexual orientation, and that she grew up with a fairy godfather and all these wonderful things that you want your child, if you're a good person, to feel. And the fucking teacher wrote a letter to her mother and said, this is too much of adult content for an 11-year-old to write. And we can't have this. So,
I'm trying to have words. I don't have any.
Okay, I know. It's so hard to digest, right? So, Xander, grew up with a gunkle.
Yeah.
Gunkle Tony represent. He loves his gunkle so much.
Carla loves her gunkle too.
Oh my God. I would trust Tony with my son's life. Okay.
Absolutely.
He's OCD and doesn't want germs, but I'd still trust him with my son's life.
But he's still so good with the kids. It's so
good, right? He's so good. So my kids grew up with a gunkle, grew up with Arena, who is a lesbian. You have a nap problem going on there?
What?
Because we have a fucking bug issue, okay?
Because my daughter likes to go outside and leave the door open and the door to the freaking lanai so that all the bugs can just come inside and hang out.
Well, Rich scared me. He's like, hurry up and close the door because the stink bugs come in. I cannot do this with the new laptop on my lap. I'll flip it upside down and toss it.
Yeah, that'll be the end of that. Yeah.
Oh,
Anywho.
So that's what the letter the teacher wrote her. So instead of our school systems teaching kids about diversity, They're not.
They're telling them to hide everything.
Mean Girls, like, don't have sex or you're gonna get AIDS.
Yeah, you're gonna die.
You're gonna die. Like, that's literally what I fucking feel like.
Yeah. Well, this is the ignore
backwards.
This is the ignore culture. You and I were talking on the phone today about how there are certain things that we can get rid of, or not get rid of in history, but we can take the glorification from. And then there are other things that it's very important to keep there. Ugly, ugly, ugly things should be in our faces so that nobody ever forgets how it was. Because
I would like to know why we have off for fucking Columbus Day. I want to know why kids are off for Columbus Day instead of them teaching him, like the kids, what a fucking monster that man was. I would like to know why they have off.
I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why. That's growing up in Pilgrim Land. Even though we were the Pilgrims, right, in Massachusetts, Plymouth Rock, what's up? We were taught that we wouldn't be in this country if it were not for Christopher Columbus discovering it.
That didn't happen.
I know, but that's what you're taught when you're a kid. So
that's what I was taught, but when are we going to start teaching our kids that that's not the truth?
Hopefully now. Let's burn
all. We're going to teach down. We are going to teach our kids that.
Exactly.
When is school going to start doing that?
You know, when I've been thinking about homeschool lately for kind of that reason, where I'm like, damn, I'm not sure I want to send her off there and have to every day be like criticizing her curriculum and then making her do school at home too, because I'm like, you're not learning the right shit. You have to learn some more stuff here.
All right. So I asked Jim's permission to tell this story about Xander. If you guys all want a little bit of a giggle, let's start giggling. All right. Okay. So
Xander for a giggle.
All right. So this is good. Xander was like 8, second grade, I think. He was asked to draw a picture and write a story about what he thinks would make the country better. So my son decided to write, it would have been better if Donald Trump was not president because he stole the election from Hillary Clinton and he should not be in the White House. And then there was a drawing of him like leaving in handcuffs with orange hair. I mean, it's an 8-year-old's drawing.
I can just picture his serious little face as he was doing this because he's just like, oh no, this is real. This is real.
Well, he was just so proud of himself bringing the paper home. And he did get an A on it, but I was truly waiting for the teacher to send me a letter and be like, maybe you should keep your politics to yourself, kind of thing. And some people might say we brainwashed him, but we told him the truth. We told him the truth. I'm sorry. We did. We told him the truth. So that's my son. My son fucking drew a picture, orange hair. It was
in handcuffs too, because he's like, jail for you.
The orange hair was so out of control. It looked like he had a cat on his head, and it was like this weird big face with like, you know, like stick figure and then big body. And I can't even deal with my child.
Well, I mean, it fits
the election from Hillary. He ain't wrong.
It fits perfectly with our theme for tonight, with the making fetch happen for the next generation. I mean, we're just trying to encourage these kids to be like, think for yourselfers, first of all. You know, like, don't think you have to go with the crowd. Think for yourself. Think logically. Let that fucking fly die.
Well, I do almost feel like, did we okay, so like my son's father is obviously a Democrat. His wife is a liberal feminist who I adore. Listen, obviously every couple has problems. I was talking to Jim, like Jim, as Xander said, was talking to Jim today, like hysterically crying and thanking him for keeping my son safe during COVID. Mm-hmm. He lives in an area that is very secluded. He has not left the house in 2 months. because we can't have this going back. His dad has very bad asthma, heart condition. So Xander has to be secluded. And Xander is coming in about a week. I'm like, I know. I am like, oh, I can't. I'm so excited. Like, that's my baby, and I'm so used to having him 4 days a week that this is so insane to me. But I cried to him and told him like how thankful I am, like that we all are family. Like, we have our disagreements and we get annoyed with one another, but we are family.
Yeah.
And Allie she's like me. She's a feminist. She's liberal. So he's got 2 women that's like, don't you dare treat women incorrectly. Don't you do it. Don't do it.
Right? Like, listen, we're going to talk to each other and you're going to get it on both ends. So just
remember when we were in the diner and he was acting incorrectly and I grabbed him by the arm. I said, let's go outside right now. Remember that? We were in the diner and he was treating me like crap and I didn't like it. And I brought him outside and I said, I'm your mother. I gave birth to you. Yeah. And aside from that fact, you don't treat women like crap. Yeah. You don't. And I'm a woman and I am your mother. Yeah. And it took me a long time to get pregnant with you. I was pregnant with you for what felt like fucking 15 years.
Yeah.
You will not do this.
Yeah.
And he came back inside and acted like a human.
He did. He absolutely did.
I mean, you have to instill that in them.
Yeah. And we have to be able to, like you said, have these discussions with them about it not being like, don't act like people aren't different. Act like different is great. Learning that different is beautiful. Like if you see somebody with a different skin color, appreciate how beautiful that skin color is.
Yeah.
Instead of like pretending it's not there because you're afraid to offend. Like it's okay to call people beautiful because they're beautiful.
Well, so now we have so when Xander was little, he had 2 friends with the same name. And when I would ask him which one he was talking about, they not only had the same first name, but the same first initial of their last name.
So it can't even be like Brian B. Like, well, they're both Brian B.
So one was blonde and one was African American and had brown hair. And he would never describe them by what they looked like ever. He would tell me the skinny one.
Yeah.
But now I have to teach him, like, it's okay to say that he's different.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't look like the other one with the same name. You can describe him as it's like describing me as having black hair.
Right.
So he could have said like, oh, the one with the darker hair, but he didn't see it.
Right.
Children are innocent, but now we have to teach them diversity and difference is good.
Well, I can remember, when Juliana was in school, she would say it like that. She would say with the white skin or the brown skin, and it was like, I understand that that's the difference that you see, but she wasn't saying it as like, oh, well, this one is better or worse. I need you to know what I'm talking about. And that's what I see as different. I don't see them different as humans. I just see that this is why they're different. Their hair maybe must have been the same. So that wasn't the difference she saw.
Right.
And it was like,
he's an innocent child. And that's the great thing about children is that they see people for who they are, like their inside. Like, like if somebody's awful to them, they will remember that for the rest of their goddamn lives.
Yeah.
If someone looks different than them, they don't give a fuck.
Right. Right.
So that's like,
my mom, I was talking to my mom the other day about this, and she told me a story that she's told a million times. She's told everybody this story, and it's like embarrassing. And it's embarrassing for a couple different reasons. I was very young. I must have been 3 or 4, probably 3. It was before my brother was born. So I was 2 or 3. And we were in the grocery store, and a little girl with dark skin came up and touched me. And I was like, oh my God, don't touch me. Your hands are dirty. And my mom, mortified, of course.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, of course. Yeah. Yeah. She was
like, we lived in a city. We lived in like an inner city. It's not like I had never seen somebody with dark skin.
Moment. That's a teaching
moment. Exactly. Like it was the first time I had interacted because I was home like with somebody that had a different color skin. And she, like my mom, like God bless her, was like, no, she's just a different color as you. If you look at her hands, you'll see that they're really clean. And she's like, she tells the story and she's like, and the mom is like snickering because she's not offended. Like kids say,
Right.
like it's totally fine. But like
when I was very little,
half the reason why that's embarrassing though is because of how dark I could have come out. Like my biological father
last week. Yeah.
he looks African American. He's Portuguese, but he looks African American. I could have come out dark. My kid could have come out dark if I had had her with somebody that even had the brownest, like tiny brown skin. She could have come out dark.
Listen, we talk about this all the time. All three of my kids look like they're fucking Anglo-Saxon, okay? And here's me. All of my kids are very light skinned, like Irish, and like have like the dirty blonde hair and very pale skin. They do look like me, but they don't have my skin color. They don't have my kids look white as fuck.
Yeah.
They really do.
Yeah.
And I don't know how that happened because look at me.
Yeah. I mean, you do look a little Morticia. So we can get behind.
Okay, so wait. Now we're going to be funny. Let's stop this conversation right now. We're going to be funny.
I just want to add. I want to add the other part of that, like the embarrassment of being like, okay, I could have come out brown, but it's like, it's not that I had never seen people like that. That was like the other half of my family. They were all super dark skin. Yeah. I don't know why in that moment I made that comment. So weird.
Because kids do and say crazy things. How many times have you seen a kid with their fingers stuffed up their nose or putting a Lego in their damn nose? Or, you know, kids listen, they do and say crazy shit and you can't control it. You just have to teach them better. That's all.
Be a teaching moment. Yeah. And obviously it was fine because
had a teaching moment.
You know, there's another story of me being like it's so embarrassing. But again, you're a kid and you just this is fine. Right. Oh, I know. This is fine. There were kids that lived next door. They were Puerto Rican, and they came over, and I said, "There you are, my Puerto Rican friends." Like I was so excited they were there.
Adult when you have like, listen, I'll say that to like my friends that come over, and I'll like joke around and be like, "Speak Spanish to me, baby." It's funny when you're an adult, but when you're a fucking kid and you say it, and you're like, oh, oops, I'm not supposed to say that.
But that's the thing is like, I feel like it was,
you didn't know.
We're still trying to, when you're that young, and again, I must have been 3 or 4 because it was before,
oh, come on, yeah, you can.
It was before we moved to New Hampshire. But like, kids are so innocent that.
Yeah, you're not saying it.
You're like, saying
you're saying it.
That I knew they were Puerto Rican.
Right.
I must have asked questions or something and they told me and I thought it was cool.
Like what do you eat that's different? What do you say that's different? Totally. Like it's curiosity. It's not anything crazy. I'm sorry. I had to put my glasses on. I know there's a glare. I can't fucking see. I'm blind. All right. Listen.
I need to get you some contacts.
No, I can't put anything in my eyes. I'm Rachel from Friends. I fucking listen, I told you we can equate every moment of my life to an episode of Friends, Mean Girls, Clueless. By the way, Clueless on Netflix now. They just added it.
Mm-hmm.
Watched it first night.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I love Josh. What's up, granola breath? I'm Rachel from Friends. Nothing goes in my eyeballs except for my Morticia eye makeup.
All right.
So let's talk about something funny.
Okay.
When you are 40 and you want to be me.
For all of you who are not 40 yet, we're about to learn a lesson about when you're 40 and you want to be Paige.
Yeah. All right. So I dye my hair maybe once every 2 years because I have now I have 8 gray hairs that I'm plucking out. I'm like, look, there's a ferret hair. Fuck, that is on my goddamn head. And I'll pluck it out and the more are coming back. So I wanted to cover it. So I decided because, all right, now I'm being crazy. I didn't want to order from Amazon because I feel like Amazon has profited over with COVID. They have enough money.
Yeah. They have.
So I went to my local store and I bought Splat. Here I am trying to do the right thing. Bought Splat hair dye. Now, I went to beauty school, as you know. I know how to dye fucking hair. I cut my own hair. All right. Put this fucking shit on my hair. It is the wateriest fucking crap that you have ever used in your life. Okay. So you put it in the glove because you can't put it on your head because you don't want it on your scalp. It says specifically, like, do not put on your scalp. Now, mind you, I've lined my forehead with Vaseline before doing that.
Of course.
It doesn't get stuck. I've done all
Thing number one. Yeah.
Okay. Put it on the gloves and don't put it anywhere near my scalp. I like do my whole head and now it is dripping down my fucking face. My whole face. And now I'm having a nervous breakdown because it's not coming off.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not coming off. So you have to leave it on for an hour and 15 minutes. And I'm like, well, I didn't fucking put purple dye on my face for me to take this like off my head.
Right.
So I'm scrubbing. I've got pimples on my head. I've blisters over here. I would like you to see this. I have a purple scalp.
Oh
I've washed my hair 6 times. Dawn dish soap. Dawn dish soap.
Shit.
Really expensive shampoo. Vitamin E oil, actual like baby oil trying to rub it off my scalp. I've used the flat iron to try to pull it away with heat and then put oil on it. I have a purple scalp right now. I am 40 motherfucking years old. I would also like to point out that my hair is black number 1 and I look like Peter Steele, but with boobs. I'm in typo negative right now, okay? I'm fucking Peter Steele with boobs. This is what you get for trying to be fucking cool at 40.
Yeah.
Yep. And here I should just
trying to be good at 40 because you could have been cool. You could have bought what you know.
I should have just bought the Arctic Fox. I was trying to support local. Bad idea. Right. Dumb. It would have come for free on Amazon Prime for $8.99. I spent $1 more and have a purple fucking scalp.
And have the anxiety of like, am I going to have a purple face? Am I going to be violet? You've turned violet.
Oh my God. So I kept falling asleep. This has been going on for a week. For 4 days, my pillowcase kept getting, I had to put a fucking towel on my pillowcase because, and then I would wake up because I sleep like this with purple arms and like a mask.
Oh my God.
Purple on my face. I mean, a nightmare. This is a nightmare. Okay. Splat, go fuck yourself. Go ahead.
All I have to say is the second you said that you had dye on your face, all I could think of is the wedding planner, which I've seen.
Oh my God.
750,000 times. And when she's like, 1/4 cup of lemon juice, 1/2 cup of salt, scrub.
I also, by the way, so you know I make body scrubs. I also, by the way, used my body scrub, which I've gotten. My dog got sprayed by a skunk. I got skunk smell off the dog with my fucking sugar scrub. It did not take it off my fucking forehead or my scalp. It is there for the rest of my natural life. I'm going to die at 80 and they're going to be like, what the hell happened to that woman's scalp?
And I'm going to be like, she dyed her hair with Splat, just saying.
Fucking order on Arctic Fox on Amazon. Save yourself the fucking trouble.
Yeah, damn. You know, like I was thinking the other day, I was like, Amazon must think I'm really rich. I mean, I'm not, but I order everything on Amazon now that I can't get from like the local store because I'm not going anywhere. I had to go somewhere today because, okay, so I'm on the beach last week. You know, Colleen was here. She was on with us.
I saw, yeah.
And so we go to the beach and, you know, like when I got here, there was a lot of stuff already here from like Will because he was living in the house. So I didn't go and get my own beach chairs. I just kind of been using his. Mm-hmm. So naturally, what do you think happened? My 4-pound quarantine gain, which I was so proud of it only being 4 pounds. I broke the fucking chair on the beach. Like, I never felt like.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh, but you're not fat. How does that even happen?
I know. I was like, this seat should be rated for more than my poundage. That's for sure. Like, it's like, what the
This is made for your dog that's 3 pounds.
Seriously, I was like, what? So then I was, obviously, like, because I'm a good human being. I'm like, I'm gonna replace the chair. Like, I'm not like a total loser.
Right.
So I asked where he got it, and it was someplace local. And I'm like, damn it! So I'm gonna have to go in the store. So like, Scarlett and I like masked up, and we're like, I'm like, don't touch anything, don't breathe anything, stay away from people. Like,
Scarlett is probably like, oh.
She's just kind of looking around because I mean, we live in a tourist. And we live in a tourist area. So, they make those places for the tourists to be like, ooh, ah. So,
right.
So like, yeah, ooh, ah. And I'm just like, we just got to get the chair and get out of here. We're just going to get the chair and get out of here.
Oh like, my God, I can't.
Yeah. So,
well, I'm so proud of you that you're still wearing the mask in South Carolina because there are a bunch of fucking hicks down there that are like, no mask for me.
Yeah. And let me tell you what's happening. Okay. I had to head wag and do the whole thing because I knew this was going to happen and I was afraid this was going to happen. They opened tourism, like straight up opened it. There's no restrictions. You don't have to wear a mask if you don't want to wear a mask. We're driving by all these attractions. People are mini golfing. They're at the freaking water park. Like, no big deal. Well, guess what? Now we are a hotspot. We are now in the top 10 of the entire fucking country when meanwhile we had nothing. We were like,
I know.
Bottom. So we screwed ourselves. I was in the vitamin shop the other day and some lady was in there. She's a nurse. She's talking to the guy in there and she's like, yeah, we weren't busy. Everything was cool. And now we're like almost at capacity with people coming in because they're sick and they need to be like inside the hospital. And I'm like, well, we're never going to get out of quarantine, dude.
Let me tell you, with everything that's been going on with me personally, I was like totally thinking of like hitching a ride with a friend like down by you, like just getting the fuck out of Dodge. But now you're worse of a hotspot than I think I am right now.
Seriously, your numbers are going down or at least leveling off.
They're
fucking spiking.
Our numbers are going to go up, and it is because we're protesting and we're hitting the streets and we're doing, and you know what? Guess what? It's better than us having it happen because everybody is going to the beach. And like you said, like they're not going to Great Adventure. They're not going mini golfing. They're not being a bunch of assholes. We're protesting. We're trying to do
but it's still, I mean, in all honesty, like I feel like
but everyone's wearing masks.
Yeah, a lot of people definitely are. A lot of people are being safe. A lot of people are
I
saw a lot of pictures of social distance protests where literally they were like feet apart from each other and just standing there and yelling or doing whatever. And yeah, like that's the unfortunate thing. And like, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but this has made me a little bit like, I do wonder a lot about how, these restrictions were put in place. And it almost makes you think that they don't care about the people who are protesting, honestly.
They don't care.
And that makes it seem so much more systematic than we even understand.
Well, I don't think it's an accident that Jared Kushner did not send the supplies that we did have initially to the blue states that did not benefit his father-in-law. That's a whole different subject. I don't even.
It's a different subject, and I am like.
But it's important because we didn't get our governor in New Jersey had to go kiss the ass of President Trump to get what we needed when we should have been first to get it because we were in the top 5 at the time. Yeah. We should have had to go kiss ass to go get that shit. I'm glad he did.
Right.
I respect him for that because I would have probably punched his ass in the face, but that's. Whatever.
This is why we're not politicians. Because
I can't be in politics. My butt is on the internet. Although, you know what? His wife is naked all over the fucking place. So whatever.
I just wouldn't be able to deal with the bullshit on a daily basis.
I don't have the patience to be nice to people that I don't like. And that's what it boils down to. But
people with power that are not nice are literally the worst people.
Don't get me started. Please don't get me started. Somebody tried telling me that Chris Christie was a good governor. I would like to revert to the picture of him sitting on the beach after he closed all the beaches, like a beach whale with his entire family.
Great. And remember the time he closed the G-Dub? Like the George Washington Bridge.
Through his administration of that woman, he threw that woman under the fucking bus who now is going to court for that. It was him. And he threw his assistant under the fucking bus. Please. Even Donald Trump doesn't want him. And what does that say about you?
Right.
He has a lower rating of approval than the person that stole all the money from our state. Yeah. Remember that?
What's the name? Christie?
Chris Christie is the fat piece of shit. Right,
but wasn't there the woman?
There was the other one, like a couple. Help me out here, Rich. What was the dude that stole all the money?
Oh, I thought you were talking about the woman.
No. Oh, the woman. That woman under the bus.
No. Before my time, there was the governor of New Jersey, Christie something or other.
There was the governor that stole like a shitload of money, like from the state, and Christie has a lower approval rating than the guy that stole a bunch of money from us. So if that tells you anything, that tells you like, and they were like, well, I like Christie. He's like, a good guy. I'm like, in what way is he a good guy? Right. Please explain to me how that man. Wait, hold on. I'm getting a text that might be important. Let's see. Are we going to talk?
In our house, Chris Christie would go to the thinking chair. Okay. That's where you go when you need to make better decisions.
Mm-hmm. How did Bridgegate work out for you there?
What?
I said, how did Bridgegate work out for him there?
Yeah, seriously. I mean,
anyway, so I'm really glad we did this tonight, and this episode is definitely dedicated to Gwen.
Yes,
she is the real MVP.
You are it, girl.
And Joanna, you did, when I say the best possible job of being a mom, like I hope that you know that and people tell you that you have raised a beautiful, beautiful child. Yeah. We're going to get her and Xander together. They could probably like rule the effing world.
Yeah.
Right?
That's amazing.
Yeah, they're only a year apart.
Yeah.
So, like when COVID calms down a little bit, we'll have some social distancing, like hanging out with them. And
I feel a little bit like it's going to be like Stewie and Olivia. Like they're just going to be like, we could totally run this. Like, we could totally run this.
Anyway, I love you, bestie. I'm so glad
you too.
Me too. No bug stories tonight.
No what?
No bug stories tonight.
No, I apparently with all the crazy spraying that I've been doing, they've been staying out. Well, knock on wood. Like, things have been pretty good around here.
I think that my ferrets might be eating anything that comes into my house because that's what they would do. But I don't want any funny bug stories.
Yeah, no, I don't want to be telling them anymore. That shit was crazy. I still like. I have PTSD from. Well, not PTSD because my life wasn't in danger, but like I have a trauma response to it because
I check my fucking bed every night from that goddamn thing zooming. Yeah. Every night I pull back my covers and I'm like, any thousand leggers under there?
Like, just come out. I'll bring you outside. Oh my God. I do have a bug story. I have a bug story. I forgot about it because it was the middle of the goddamn night.
Tell it.
Okay. Let's end with a bug story. That's
right. That seems to be the theme of our life. Do it.
Have a nightmare, everyone. So, so the other night, it was like, I don't know how many nights ago it was, but again, like, so apparently when it rains a lot, and it's been raining a lot, this is when these bugs come around. Also, though, when you spray at that time, it fucks up the spray because there's water. So this is what I'm learning. Yeah. Like, so they're not dying when they come in because the shit's been washed away. Like, I'm gonna have to like spray inside the house, I guess.
You have to spray around the perimeter.
Right. And like the stuff that I have is supposedly safe for kids and dogs once it's dry. So I'll probably like actually spray the corners of the rooms and stuff.
No, what you should do is spray the perimeter, take Scarlett and the dog out and wait for it to dry for a couple hours. Take them
Well,
to
it's not aerosol. Like it's a
I know what you're talking about.
Like it's a regular
thing. So take them out for a couple hours.
Well, what I'm mostly worried about is like, because this was okay. Let me just tell the story first.
Go ahead.
Then you'll understand why the perimeter isn't like a thing, because you've been in my house, so you're gonna get why this is fucking weird.
Well,
so the bug was upstairs in my room, right? So in the middle of the night, the other night, Scarlett comes running into my room, like, and I'm getting flashbacks of when she would run into the room because she was being tortured by her sister. So I'm like, what's going on? Somebody's in the house, like freaking out. She doesn't know why she's freaking out. But I'm like, all right, we'll just go back in the room. She has been telling me that she sees a dark thing in the closet. And so here's the thing. She was like describing it as like a big dark thing in her closet. So I was like, I'll put a light in your closet so you can sleep, because I'm like, hey, you're a kid. You could see spirits. I don't
believe that she sees the dark thing in her closet.
I'm like, totally cool. So I sage her room. I'm like, I sage her room. I'm like, if you're like a shitty spirit, get the fuck out. But if you're cool, you can hang. Like, and so I have that discussion with her.
That's right.
I'm like, there's no harmful spirits in here. They were told to leave, and so they gotta go. Like, that's it. So anywho, we're having this discussion at like 2 a.m. or whatever time she comes in here, and I'm just like, okay, you gotta go back to bed. Everything's fine. Like, no bad spirits are in here. You're so safe here. Like, this is why we came here, so that we could be safe. And then I look up, and there's a fucking bug walking across the wall behind her head. And I'm like, be cool, bitch. Like I'm all like, what's his face?
She saw it.
Like, she did, yeah.
She saw something.
Where she heard it or something by her head or whatever, and just
in a shadow, probably. Oh,
right.
wow.
Well, because she has a nightlight on. So here I am going, how am I gonna, again, like in the bedroom, how do I not freak the kid out, but get this fucking thing out of here?
Was it a fucking palmetto?
Oh, of course it was. So here's my deal. So I'm feeling like I could be on Survivor maybe someday, but because
you can't. You don't like them. Are you crazy? You said
I don't like them, but I can think in the moment. I've now learned that I can think in the moment. So I take this thing. She has like this bank. Like, it's like a dinosaur shape, and it has these two plastic spheres that screw together, and that's what holds the money. Well, she had taken it apart because she's a kid. That's what they do. So I'm looking around her room like, I got to trap this motherfucker. I can't go downstairs. I can't go get my hockey stick. Like, that's
my favorite thing ever.
Yeah, has to be in this room. So I take the little sphere and I slam it on the thing. She's like, what are you doing? I'm like, fixing your wall.
Nothing.
Don't look. I'm fixing your wall.
Checking for dust bunnies on the wall.
Seriously. So I take this plastic thing with the bug inside it, and I'm sliding it across the wall. Okay, over her head, over like the little. There's like a
grow up, Vanessa.
Well, listen, I cannot believe. Like, I feel like such a badass when I do this shit, because I'm like,
you are a badass.
I did this. So, and it's like making a squeaky noise, and she keeps being like, what's going on? I'm like, nothing, dude. Like, just go back to sleep. Everything's cool. I'm fixing your wall. I just got to fix your wall. And meanwhile, so now I finally have the bug like near me, not near her. It's gone over it. Like, she has a loft bed with a slide. So I have to like go around the slide and be all like, hey. So then I'm standing there.
A better person than me.
Well, I'm standing there with it against the wall, and I'm like, well, now what do?
I do.
How am I going to get it from the wall in the sphere? Like,
slide it down.
And I got it here. What do I do? So I find a book, and I like slide it between the wall and the thing and manage to trap it. Run. Okay, and here's where it's weird. It's almost like with the hockey stick, and I just trapped it under the hockey stick and was like, what do I do now? I had it like this, and I was like, well, what the fuck do I do? Now I have it trapped with a flimsy book and a sphere. Like, if this thing drops, we need to leave. Like, we're going to go live in the house. Like, yeah, like, I can't do this. I'm going to have to call Will and be like, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna live here anymore. Like,
or I'm sorry, I torched your fucking house.
Right.
Gasoline and
over it. But so here I am, like 2:30 in the morning, whatever time it was. It was totally the middle of the night. I go running outside and I throw it in the sewer grate.
Where 9,000 other ones live. Good choice.
I'm like, but I was just like, I want to make sure I don't put it like outside the house so it can come back in it. And if it goes in the toilet, I'm never going to go on that toilet again. Like, yeah, like it has to go someplace that I feel like it is going to be really difficult for it to come back. Yeah, 2:30 in the morning, there I am. And I come inside and I'm just like, I feel a little bit like the suburban mom version of Rambo. A little bit.
You are fucking Rambo. I'm going to tell a story about you. So okay. Xander's grandfather rather owns a wine school. So we used to get free cases of wine, a lot of free cases of wine. And Vanessa and I drank all of them. Okay. We did. We drank all of them and we sang karaoke very poorly.
Oh, excuse me.
We were good, but I mean, we were drunk too, so we probably like sounded like fucking dying cats. I don't really know. But all I know is I really think that we were singing Maroon 5 and we like summoned the bug, okay? So we're like standing in the middle of the room. You're on one side by the like couch, I'm by the love seat. And this fucking thing that, no joke, was like this big. Remember this? Okay.
I remember.
It was like a snake. It slithered very calmly. You took off your flip-flop and went whoosh. I am on the couch screaming at like 3 a.m. after waking up the neighborhood singing Adam Levine, probably.
Yeah, right.
And you just fucking whacked this thing like a boss. And I stood there. I was like, I need 18 Xanax and another bottle of wine. And I cannot believe you just did that.
It's got to get done.
You are the bug killer. You are. When we were in New Orleans, you did it.
That's true.
We
can't be there. Like, it's like, I know that my anxiety is coming and then I'm going to like leave and I can't come back. And I want to, like, I don't want to leave here.
I ran outside. I left you inside and like was screeching. I can't do it. I can't do it. I maybe had a tear forming. I don't know. But I still will never forget that time we were karaokeing and you were like so casual about it too. Like as I'm on the fucking list.
It was like I took my flip-flop off. That must have been like the Portuguese thing. We were like, I'll beat you. I will beat you with my flip-flop.
And this thing was like, I mean, it was really grotesque.
I remember. It was like fuzzy and disgusting. I really do remember.
But it was like long and slithering like a snake. And you did it. You did it, girl.
Yeah. Well, that's what I got to do. I really am tired of doing it here. But so the reason why I was telling you, like, spraying the perimeter apparently does nothing. They're getting in upstairs somehow. So I got to figure some new shit out. And it's like, I feel like I'm in that.
I'll help you Google. Well, when I lived in Florida, that's what they would do. They would spray the perimeter, but what they come up through the drain. The most important thing is to spray under the drain. They go by moisture, water.
Right. Well, I had been like closing the drains and all the like tubs in the bath and the whatever. Right. I'm like,
spray it. It'll slow them down at least. If it don't die, it'll slow it down.
But here's the thing. Like last year I got here about this time last year and I saw maybe 2 the whole time. Okay. So I guess I've only seen 2 this year too, but whatever.
I was just going to say, like, so that's not that bad. In Florida, I saw them every day and we had a fucking man and we paid a lot of money to come in every 2 weeks, but we were on a bay.
Right.
That was
so we have like out back on the other side of the fence, there's, it's like, I don't know. Apparently, this is like a flood zone if you fuck it up. What people are doing, they're building developments, it's a flood zone. So now there's like this, it's not a creek, but it's like a creek. I guess it's a man-made creek now at this point. Yep. So when it rains, it fills with water. When there was the hurricane, it made the fence like kind of get like jiggly. So there's a lot of water out back.
Yep. That's exactly where they're coming from, baby girl.
Maybe I'm just going to go, I'll buy like 4 gallons of the bug spray and just dump it in the, that's not right. I can't do that. It's chemicals.
I was just going to say, I think that might pollute the soil. Maybe not.
I don't want them in here. And they're not doing anything except being gross.
I have to see how much it is for some dude to come in and fucking spray, because it really helped in my grandparents' house. I'm telling you, we'd find them. They were so slow, they were almost dead. If they
might as well do it. I mean, like I said, though, like I feel like I came here at this time last year and we like handled the habit, so it was fine.
But you didn't have the water.
Well, the same water. Yeah, the same water's there.
Well, now you're whatever. I was gonna come and visit you because COVID, personal problems. Now you're got COVID and fucking palmetto bugs. Maybe I'll wait like a month.
See you when you handle those problems.
Let me know when the fucking breakout is over and you've handled the bug situation.
You got it.
Well, I don't mind. Remember we were sitting outside and the lizard jumped on my arm and you were like, ew. And I'm like, it's so cute.
Well, here's the thing. Like when Colleen was here, she was like, oh no, I can't even be out here. And I was like, listen, I lived in Florida. Like I lived in Florida. They came in my house all the time because you can't help it. They're everywhere. Like
they're so cute though.
And they're not going to do anything. I had to be like, listen, they're going to eat bugs.
How are they going to do? They eat grass.
Right. They're not going to eat you. Like the iguanas in the backyard of my house, I was a little afraid of.
Also vegetarians. They're not going to eat you.
Well, I was like, if they're walking with their tail, it's going to hurt.
My ferrets have teeth in the back of their mouth that are meant to grind bone, okay?
I wish you didn't tell me that.
They're not going to do that. They love Scarlet. Your daughter comes over and she picks them up like a fucking crazy person, and they're licking her face, okay?
She loves those things. She's not getting one, but she loves yours.
She loves them. And they lick her and they love her and they're not going to bite her.
Yeah.
Just like
or grind her bones, hopefully.
No, they're not. I give them pellets. They don't eat like raw meat or anything. But anyway, all right, let's close our show. We're rambling now.
Okay. Yeah. And I feel like it's worth it to let everybody know that like we know that it's important for us to acknowledge the stuff that's going on in the world.
Oh my gosh. So important.
It doesn't mean we're never going to be funny again. It doesn't mean you're going to see our ridiculous selves again. It's just that it's like wrong for us to ignore what's going on.
We cannot ignore it. And we are now living through the biggest civil rights movement that's ever happened. And I want it to keep going.
Yeah.
Do not stop. Keep being a big mouth. If you don't like my page, if you don't like my Instagram, because I'm going to keep posting and reminding you what a dickhead you are, then get off my page.
Or contact a therapist to find out why you're a dickhead.
What did I tell people? What did I post about you the other day? Contact my best friend. If you're angry, contact her because you will help them.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to meet them where they're at. Like, I am really like, I really get it. Like, if somebody comes to me and they're like, I'm sorry, I don't know why I don't like people who are Black, but I don't want to feel this way. I'm not going to be like, you're a piece of shit because you feel that way. I'm going to be like, well, let's talk about it, dude. Let's bring you to a better place.
Absolutely. Oh my God. You're better than I am. I'm trying. I'm a
Care Bear. I do the Care Bear stare. Like, I'm like, just take the happiness, take the goodness. Just take it.
I just want to say, by the way, you do look like you're naked the whole show.
Listen, guys, I got clothes on. I mean,
nobody told you to take your clothes off.
What? No, I don't want that guy back. Just kidding.
All right. Anyway, props to the Witty Idiot for dedicating your page right now to the movement. Yes. I think that you are so brave, and I think you're adorable as well. I don't know if you're single. It looks like
oh hey again.
I'm a complete fucking maniac, so I'm probably your type. What up?
You could write so many memes.
All about me.
I can't with you, dude.
Love you. I'm not even
All right,
drunk.
guys.
This is my first fucking drink today, by the way.
I know. I'm like, I had a glass and a half now.
Oh wait, let's
I'm like,
discuss what I'm drinking right now real fast because it's so classy. You ready to laugh?
mhm. Oh, I can't wait.
Natural Light came out with seltzer.
Wait, what is it? Oh my God, Paige.
Yo, it's only 90 calories. I mean, like 2 of them.
Yeah, I mean, but are you gonna die tomorrow because of whatever else?
No, I'm having one. I'm literally having one. I'm having one. I'm gonna hang out with my friend Rich. We're gonna watch some nerdy shit. Yeah, no, I'm having one of these. He's drinking Bud Light. He'll have a worse hangover than I will.
That's true.
Anyway.
All right, y'all. If you made it this far, thank you so much. We love you.
We love you guys. And Gwen, you're our hero. We love you. We adore you.
For you, Gwen.
Big ups, Joanna.
We're here for you. Let us know if you need anything.
Seriously. Yep, for real. Anything.
All right.
Okay. Bye.
Yeah, y'all.
See you later. How do I turn this